Good morning or good afternoon. I am Yvonne from Colorado, and it is Thursday, September 14th. I want to welcome you guys to the Winner Within Coaching Call, brought to you by the Unit of Prosperity, or UOP for short. We host these personal development calls Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern for the benefit of entrepreneurs and marketers everywhere. So you can feel free to invite your teams, no matter which company you represent, for some daily motivation and inspiration. Now, if this is your first time dialing into one of our calls, let me introduce today's coach to you. He is a visionary, strategist, and entrepreneur. He is an energetic, highly impactful speaker, and a fierce motivator. Utilizing his passion, he likes to take an aggressive approach to personal development by challenging what people see as the norm. His story is a remarkable one. From a very young age, he has had an entrepreneurial spirit, but lacked the guidance of positive role models to hone his abilities. Even though he faced many pitfalls and major challenges along the way, with faith, will, determination, and perseverance, he was able to reach his goal of becoming a successful entrepreneur. He has an affinity for community outreach and volunteerism. He has served in many leadership capacities over the years and is currently a member of the board of directors for both the United Negro College Fund and Sister Cities in Jacksonville, Florida. His vision is to motivate and teach others the power of effectively utilizing knowledge, resources, and network ability to obtain definitive goals and reach their greatness. Please grab something to write with. You're going to want to take notes. He's going to share with us his topic for the day: stop cheating yourself. It is my pleasure to bring to the call Dr. Adrian Gentry. Dr. Gentry, are you ready?
I am so ready, and I appreciate you once again for giving such an excellent introduction. I love it. I appreciate you.
You are so welcome. Take it away.
No problem. First, I want to say thank you, everybody, for getting on this phone call. I really feel honored to be able to speak into you today. So I do not take it lightly for you getting on the call and actually providing me with some of your time. I like to say a couple of things every time before I speak, just a couple of housekeeping things. One, I'm a very, very passionate person, so every time I speak, I kind of get loud, and you hear the passion coming out my voice. I'm not going crazy. I'm not going to pass out. I'm not going to hyperventilate and die. That's just who I am. It's the passion coming out of me. Two, I'm a Christian through and through. So every time I speak, you're going to get this God in me. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. That's who I am. And three, I'm a meat and potatoes type of person. So I give you exactly what I got, and I get off the phone. So with that being said, today's topic, stop cheating yourself. And I like to start every one of these calls off with a story to kind of drive home the point. And in this story, we're going to talk about some butter and a farmer. So there was this farmer who was sold a pound of butter to a baker. One day the baker decided he wanted to weigh the butter, and he quickly found out that he wasn't getting the amount that he thought he was getting. He got so mad that he decided, look, I'm going to take this farmer to court. The judge asked the farmer, what did you use to measure the pound of butter? The farmer replied, Your Honor, long before the baker started buying butter from me, I was buying a pound of bread from him. Every day when the baker brings the bread, I put it on the scale and give him the same weight in butter that he gave me in bread. If anyone's to blame, it's the baker. Now, I need people to understand something when we're talking about stop cheating yourself. See, the baker is like a lot of people. He was trying to find fault with someone else for the shortcomings that he had caused. If you're not where you want to be right now, I have to tell you it's time to take charge of your entire life. The baker decided to short someone else, and he didn't get what he wanted out of the deal. That's the same way we look at life sometimes. We look at life as a transaction where just because we say we want something, that life is supposed to give it to us. But we're short on our actions. He was trying to, like I said before, he was trying to find fault. If life is not giving you all that you're asking for, you have to stop blaming everyone else and look at you and for the reason to be mad. See, because success is ultimately determined by your actions or inactions. And every inaction that you take doesn't end up hurting everyone else as much as you think it does, as it ends up hurting you in the end. Every book that you choose not to read, every training that you refuse to get on, every hour you choose to watch TV instead of working on your business, instead of working on your relationships, is ultimately hurting you. See, there's a law in the Bible. It's called the law of sowing and reaping. If we look at it in the secular, it's called the law of reciprocity. Basically, both of these laws, these principles, they state that you get back what you put in. What you give out, you'll get back. I remember Eddie Murphy had a comedy back in the 80s, and he said, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Listen, most of us aren't giving anything out to get anything back, but we have a sense of entitlement that helps us to believe that we're supposed to be further than what we are. Let me help you understand something. These both are proven principles. If you are not putting out the effort, you cannot reap the reward. You have to understand you are the master of your destiny. And the only person that you're cheating is you. So today I'm going to give you 3 things you must stop doing to stop cheating yourself. And I'm not really politically correct, so you're going to get them, you're going to kind of get them in a way that might sound kind of rash. But the first thing you have to stop doing is stop lying. See, the problems that you keep denying you have are the very things that are holding you back from greatness. Years ago, I used to work at this mortgage company. And I knew absolutely nothing about mortgages before I got in this business. The only thing I knew was I wanted to be in the real estate field in some shape, form, or fashion. So I came completely green. And I noticed the trend that used to go on between the people who would succeed and the people who would fail. We didn't get any salaries. We were 100% commission. And so we had to literally learn while we were working. So they would hire people who had no experience at all, and we would make 150 to 200 phone calls each and every day. They would also hire people who had already been in the mortgage field before. Now, these people came in with this expectation that they already knew what they were doing. We didn't know. So guess what? We had to constantly, every day, they would tell me to take home a book. And that sales book was, what was that? Little Red Book of Sales by Gentry, right? And so every day I would go home, I'll read a chapter, I'll write 5 questions that I need to ask for the next day. Ask on the phone the next day to kind of get these customers to really love me, right? So I can close these loans. So every day we train hard every day. And all of a sudden you would see the people who had never done mortgages before, checks would completely trump the people who had done mortgages before. The people who had done mortgages before, in their mind, they were doing the work. They knew the work already, and they were lying to themselves about how much work they were doing when they weren't at work. We studied every day. So one month, I think it was my 3rd month, $15,000 check. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. But they would have a lie to tell themselves every day, you know what, it's these leads. The leads are the problem. It has to be the leads. No, it's the system. See, this is not how you really do mortgages. No, you know what? I hate working with people in Texas because people in Texas don't know how to do business. They lie to themselves. None of them can get to the point of greatness because they wouldn't be realistic enough with themselves to say, look, I really don't know what I think I knew. I'm really not putting in the work that I'm telling everybody I'm putting in. I'm not reading the books. I'm not studying. They were lying to themselves. And like I said, the problems that you keep denying you have are the very things that are holding you back from greatness. 2, it's time to lose the fear. It's time to stop fearing things that can't hurt you. It's a book I read recently called The Law of Happiness, and it talks much about how we think as individuals. And majority of our mind, the reason we can't be happy because we're in the past 80% of the time, and we're in the future 80% of the time. So we're dwelling on the things of the past, our past failures, our past hurts, our past pains. And we're fighting the things in the future that haven't even happened yet. The only thing that is holding most of us back is not the government, it's not lack of money, it's not lack of opportunity, it's not lack of education, it's fear. It's the fear of what other people may think if you fail. It's the fear of what other people may think if you join that business. It's the fear of other people may think if it doesn't work out exactly how you said it was going to work out. So we sit back and we talk about all our dreams and we tell everybody what we want to do, but we never get up and take action because we're truly afraid of how great we can be. Why are you scared of failure? I need you to understand something. This might sound kind of crass, but listen. You were destined to be great. It was already inside of you. This is going to sound a little bit crazy, but listen. You pushed through 30 billion sperm cells, not caring about what none of them thought, to get to an egg at the end of a tunnel that you didn't even think about and didn't even see. And every day you sit back with a dream, a vision, a plan for your life that you want to see executed, and you're allowing fear to stop you. It doesn't make sense. The failure hasn't even happened yet. If you want to be happy, if you want to succeed, you have to put down the notion that there can ever be a failure. I see people every day unhappy with their lives because what? They're so scared. They don't want to get into relationships. Why? Because that person may hurt me. I don't want to go out and do this business because you know what? I'm not really qualified for it. I'm not the right age. I'm not the fit. They're going to turn me down. What is it? Listen, fear is the only thing stopping you from going to the next level. And the only person that you're allowing fear to cheat is you. It's cheating you out of your dreams. It's stripping you of your own personal respect for yourself. Because I know at times you're sitting at night and you're laying in the bed. I tell everybody that pillow knows. That pillow knows that's just an excuse. When you lay your head down at night, that pillow knows that what you're really dealing with is fear. It's time to get over the fear. And 3, you have to do the work. But let me clarify something real quick. Work does not always mean action. I know some people are like, wait a minute, but everybody tells me to take action. I gotta take action. I gotta take action. That doesn't necessarily mean, work does not necessarily mean moving 100 miles an hour. I know we've all met dozens of people that run around all day long taking actions that never lead to anywhere. Success comes in different forms. Actions without focus will lead to frustration. You cannot only be an action-oriented person. That's what they call the dumb jock. Yeah, he can push over a wall, but he can't think. I love Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett once said, out of 8-hour day, I read 6 hours and I implement 2. Abraham Lincoln, if you give me 6 hours to cut down a cherry tree, I'll use 4 of those hours sharpening my axe. Are you willing to do the work? That's not just throwing everything against the wall and seeing what sticks. The work is typically the thing that most people find boring. Are you willing to read the books? Are you willing to do the research? Are you willing to learn the skill? I have a company that provides, I'll say I'm the middleman between the government and contractors. So what I do is I go after contracts for people looking, government contracts for people looking for government contracts. I'm the middleman, right? And so the funny thing about it is when I first started out in that industry, I knew absolutely nothing. Once again, I'm in the industry. I knew absolutely nothing about it. So the first thing I went to do was I went and grabbed 2 or 3 books because I need to understand what this industry is all about. And after a while, I started to realize something, that the industry was more about research than calls. So I was literally able to streamline a process of getting government contracts because I wasn't taking massive action like everybody told me to. I was looking at the process from a different perspective, and I was 100% consistent on the actions I did take. So I ended up taking less meetings than all of my competition, yet closing more contracts than all of my competition. I would take 1 meeting to their 10. And the only thing that made me completely different than everyone else was, every time I walked into an office, I already knew what the customer wanted. I did the research. I read the books. The work is not always about running. You have to do the things that no one else wants to do. I hate the notion of competing with other people. Daily, you should be competing with yourself. How often are you sitting down watching TV doing nothing? You're not cheating anybody but yourself. What books have you read and begin to implement into your life? Remember, Warren Buffett said 6 hours he reads, 2 hours he implements. The average person reads 1.5 books a year. But everybody has big dreams. Everybody wants to go to the next level in their life. And by not reading, you're only cheating yourself. Without doing the research, you're only cheating yourself. You can't expect life to give you more than you're willing to put out. It's not possible. You can't let fear hold on to you and not release you from going after your dreams. You can't keep blaming other people for the position that you're in right now. You can't keep complaining about the very inaction that you didn't take that could have gotten you the next deal. Because just like the farmer and the baker wanted something that he wasn't willing to give. He wasn't willing to do what he needed to do to get what he should have gotten. Don't be the person that cheats yourself. Don't be the person that let fear stop you from going after your dreams. Don't be the person that's continuously lying to yourself. It's not everybody else. I say this every call because I need people to begin to look at their own actions. It's not everyone else that's crazy. It's not everyone else that's dumb. It's not everyone else that's stopping you from going to the next level. It's you. And as soon as you begin to stop lying to yourself and realize that it's you, you can begin to move forward in your life. Your dreams are much closer than you think. That relationship that you want is much closer than you think. That breakthrough is much closer than you think. But you have to stop cheating yourself. You were meant for greatness. Everybody on this call, I want to see you live the life that you so desire, and everybody's success looks completely different on this call. I guarantee you that. But tonight, when you sit down and you know you're supposed to be doing something to grow your business, you know you're supposed to be doing something with your children to better that relationship, you know you're supposed to be spending time with your spouse or your loved ones, I want you to understand that at the end of the day, the only person that you're cheating is you. Get up and take the right actions. I guarantee you, if you are consistent in taking the right actions for the next 6 months, whatever you're looking forward to will manifest. Whether that be a better job, whether that be a bigger business, whether that be better relationships, whether that be more finance. I guarantee you will be much closer to your goal than you are today. But you have to stop lying to yourself. You have to stop letting fear hold you back. And you have to do the work. I love you guys. You're great because God said so.